In this lesson, we will continue finishing the primary folds on our cowboy character. So in the last lesson, we finished the primary folds of the shirt. Now we're going to move on to finishing the primary folds in the vest. So I'm just going to jump to my vest subtool, and I'm just going to kind of clean up some of these main folds that we have in here. So a handy tool to use is if I mask this section out, and once I get everything masked out, if I invert this, the mask selection, if I hold down Control and click on the canvas, it will invert it. A really handy tool if I go to geometry is clay polish. So that will kind of sharpen and soften certain areas of the mesh. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So just kind of mask off the areas that are a little rough from using the clay buildup brush. So I'm actually going to kind of come back here and mask off some areas back here to kind of clean this up, and then just invert my mask selection and then hit clay polish and then clear it. So what I want to do is go to my move brush, and I'm just using the same hotkey setup that we created in an earlier lesson. So I hit the 1 key, and I want to go to my X symmetry by hitting X on the keyboard. And I just want to bring this in a bit. I just kind of want to make sure that this is sitting in the right place. So I want to bring that up a little bit, and just kind of push this in. I think I want to bring this in a little bit. So I just want to look at my shirt mesh real quickly, turn off the vest. Yeah, so this is poking out a little too much, so I just want to push this in just a touch. So go back to my vest, and I'm able to push that in just a little bit more. So push that out. Just smooth out that little error that I had in there. So I'm going to go back to my move brush and kind of fix this back part a little bit more. So just kind of bring this down so it's lying on top of the shirt. So I think I want to go to my Fold 02 brush, and what I want to do is I want to subdivide this one more time. So I'm going to hit Control D. So just let that subdivide, and I just want to come in here and just kind of add some just smaller, tighter folds right in here. So just work on this area a little bit. I'm going to work on this collar. Just bring it out so it feels like it's overlapping. And I probably want to go back and cut one more time with the Dam Standard brush. So I'm switching to Dam Standard, hitting the 4 key. So I'm going to just carve this in right here. So I'm just going to carve all the way around. Oops. Set my intensity back to where it was, and get a small brush and just kind of carve underneath here. And then I probably want to go back with the Fold 2 and just kind of just hit this top line so I can get that overlapping that I want. So I'm just going to work my way around this collar. And I might have to subdivide one more time because you see it's sort of breaking up right there. So let me just hide this neck, the cloth around the neck. So let me just keep going and bring it all the way around. So we're almost done. Hit that, then make sure that we hit this one right here, and then the last piece right in here. And then just bring it all the way down right in here. Okay. So I think I just want to come in here and just tighten up some of these folds and just kind of break up some of these lines. Make sure everything just is sitting correctly. I actually want to move back to my folder one brush. I just want to get some bigger folds in here. So just kind of working my way up the shoulder, bringing some of these down. I'm just going to turn down, actually I'm going to turn off the gravity for right now. And I'm just going to keep working around this vest, working on these folds, pushing and pulling. So I'm going to work on the back here a little bit. Just bring some folds down here. So, you know, they're basically hanging off the upper back. So work around the shoulder, switch to my move brush, kind of nudge things around, and just kind of work on these areas. So I'm going to keep just tweaking this, just kind of moving everything into place and making it look natural. Thinking about gravity and underlying forms and the tension points of the body. Thinking about my different fold shapes. So I'm just going to just work on this just a little bit more on the back here. I'm just going to keep it fairly simple. So I want to bring these back a little bit. Oops, probably a little too much right there. So I'm just going to tuck that fold in a little bit. I'm probably going to bring these ends out a little bit. And I'm just going to pull up these corners. So they're just a little sharper. And probably just want to kind of go back to fold 2. And since this is going to be like a leather vest, there's going to be some sharper ones. So I just kind of want to make sure that those read and those get in there. You bring some smaller, sharper ones in here. And down in here to kind of break this vest up at the bottom. So just want to just kind of bring these down into here. So just keep working on these a little bit more. Let me just knock that back a little bit. I think it's a little too sharp. So just to recap, we went ahead and worked on the primary folds of the vest. And in the next lesson, we will go over seams. So I'll just see you in the next lesson.